Hello there, I am going to make some more relaxed video. This one I will explain how I deploy with Quart. So I started with Quart, and for other applications like the data chat, I used Quart, and you are going to use Hypercorn to be like the hypervisor of the thing. So let's log to the seat. Let's go to the corresponding folder. You remember the folder structure from the last video. I type ls, and here the first thing you are going to see is a file called hypercorn.conf. So the way you want to run Quart is not standalone like we did with Sonic. It is with like a outer layer. So either Hypercorn, either Uvicorn, whatever you like, as long as it's asynchronous. And if we take a look at hypercorn.conf, we can see a lot of stuff. The first one, we are still able to use a Unix bind, so this is my preferred way of making processes communicate. Fantastic. This is the syntax. I had a lot of trouble with it, so try to respect it. I can specify the number of workers. I only want one worker because the VPS only has one virtual core, so multiple workers in parallel won't be of much use. We have the auto reload feature that you can enable like this. You can specify where you want the stuff to be logged. The keep alive timeout for TCP connections, and here is something quite important. If you're using socket, you have to specify the umask so that both Hypercorn and Quartz can communicate on it. And if we take a look at maybe the list of stuff that was installed in the virtual environment on this one, you can see that we have Hypercorn right here. So this is the way you add it to your application. So you started with UV, add Quart and stuff like that. You just have to type UV add Hypercorn. Was already there. I wonder if it's the same syntax. Alright, UV can update all of your packages. So Hypercorn was not updated. This is how you would add it, but here we see that Datastar PI was updated to the new version. So let's take a look at the code, and I think this part in the code right here is not going to work anymore. Alright, so there you have it. You see that this is the same syntax from Sonic. Just put datastar.py datastar.py.quartzsonic, whatever you want, and you can import the decorator, I like it, and SSE. We have the Brotli middleware. So in Sonic, the Brotli middleware is not really working. So if you really need Brotli, consider using Quart instead for the time being. Right, this hasn't changed. This is really easy because those are, I just know that these are just helpers functions to construct the view and so on. So yeah, with Quart you have before request, you have stuff like that in on the first, and the first load. Here we have our first Datastar response. So add the decorator and turn. There's some cleaning up to do. Now it's patch elements from main view instead of merge elements. patch them. If someone sends a message, alright, we are still doing a Datastar response here, so let's add that too. Yield is right, but merge fragments isn't. Patch elements, blah blah blah, and now I think it wraps stuff, so I can just return the event, and because of the decorator here, it will be wrapped the correct Datastar response, which means just have the correct headers for the response. Return, so we still have a Datastar response. I don't know if we can return what we're supposed to return for nothing, so I'm just going to not return anything and opt for the best if someone switch character. So I guess it's how it works, that the default behavior is a 2 or 4. Alright, I saved, I changed stuff, and if I reload we still have some problems. No element fonts for the watcher. Alright, it works again. I figured out the mistake. So pay attention, what happened is that Datastar response decorator was on top of this, and so it was wrapping the decorator get of Quart as well. So please read the docs and remember that you should put this decorator on the function, but not with the main Quart one. Alright, I think I didn't make this mistake twice, so we are now back on track. Can we test the app? Okay, seems like it works, so sorry for this little detour, but I wanted to show you that the apps that we built with Quart are still perfectly okay, and that using UV to update the SDK and using this new decorator, it's quite straightforward. And SSC change from merge fragments to now patch elements. This is what you need to get out of it. So let's get back to business. Go to the data chat folder. So we have this Hypercorn configuration as well. So how do we launch Hypercorn so that Hypercorn can launch Quart? We are going to use a service. Let me show it to you. Alright. A service like the one we use for Sanic, very simple. You specify the working directory and you use the virtual environment to launch the Hypercorn as a module. This is the M option that you see here, because you can add Hypercorn. Hypercorn was added with UV, so with pip. And you specify the configuration with -c hypercorn.conf app.app. Quite straightforward, quite easy, and using Hypercorn is recommended to get more performance and better security if you put something before your Quart app. Now, would I recommend making a Quart app? Yes, still, because it's still very, very easy, and if you come from a Flask background, it's going to be the best stuff to get you up and running. Talking about Sonic, I wanted to tell you that I discovered recently something about it. So Sonic automatically closes responses, long-running responses, if there's nothing going through it. So in my Datastar app, for example, I was doing CQRS, so opening a long-lived connection and then piping down even if something happened, but it was for a card game, so a card game could last something like 5-10 minutes, and Sonic closes connection after 1 minute. So it was a bit problematic. So two ways of fixing it: either in your CQRS connection, when you are waiting for something, you can specify a timeout. So you do, you create your queue with whatever you want, async your queue, concerns, nats, whatever, and you said max time or timeout equals something less than 60, and if nothing, you send 204. Say, well, nothing new, just sending you that I'm still there, nothing new. And the other way is to just raise this limit of 60 seconds on the closing of idle connections, and the way that you do it is just very simple. You update the config file this way, so you do app.update config response timeout, and I pass this connections length to 30 minutes because I don't expect any game to last 30 minutes. I don't know if it's gonna be much trouble for the server, but it fixed the closing of connection for the moment, and this is what I went with. Now you might wonder, why do I love Sonic so much for the moment? And I will just show you this. I am building a little website for selling some little cars. So the client is my dad, and I want the website to look like him, so I want to be able to prototype really quickly so he can have a brand that he buy with, and also that is working, so that he can see the workflow, how it's going to work. So you enter the shop, you click on an item, you can filter, you have a slideshow. Very easy to do with Datastar, by the way. I will show you that in due time. Then you can buy the stuff, you fill your order and stuff. I will show you that in due time, but you see that this demo is straightforward, but it's working, it's conveying the ideas. So I can ask, do you like the gray colors and blue, like these, very minimal? Do you want to be able to filter by more stuff than this? Do you want to add a field, add a page? Are you happy with the landing page, or do you want to start here? So we have a working prototype, and with Sonic, this looks like that. You just write down some HTML and you say, these are all static pages, let's go. And with Datastar, you can still have the slideshow, some reactivity and stuff. So being able to prototype an ID in the moment, which it is fresh, and you can put it out there and initiate the conversation with Sonic, and the fact that you don't have to set up Hypercorn or have a Hypercorn config. I mean, you see, if you do Hypercorn once, and then you just copy your Hypercorn conf file everywhere, and you just have to UV add the Hypercorn and write the good stuff in the service. So I'm a bit conflicted. I don't know why I like Sonic. I think it's because of little stuff like that. curious about your opinion on this. Which one do you like, or do you feel like you want to try? And finally, to conclude this video, I wanted to redirect you to another video. I will put the link in the description, but this video, I mean, Smashing Magazine made a series of really good conferences with people like Adam Argyle or kind of or CSS guys, which were really nice, and I watched a lot of them, and I enjoyed and learned in all of them, but this one I think is the most important, and I really enjoyed the new rules of UX writing by Nick DiLallo. I think the message is clear, well presented, that you will learn stuff, and also that it is a very important lesson in how you think about what you do and what you might do. So look at this video and tell me if you liked it. Also tell me in the comments if you like this more chill videos, not less editing our projects, but I am working on stuff and it is taking some time because I have stuff on the side, but maybe you enjoy having like a video per week where I just show you what I'm working on and talk, even if it's not like a well structured project. Maybe maybe I wasted your time and then I'm sorry. Keep tuned. Hope everyone is good. We are still at 200 views and these videos are not picking up, but I like every 201 of you. I am wishing you a nice week and see ya for the next video.